As we look at the weather situation, we are seeing some fog still lingering around our coastal areas. The National Weather Service issuing that dense fog advisory until 12 p.m. and that does include areas from Port Mansfield all the way to Boca Chica Beach there. And we're seeing some of this fog in and around Brownsville as well. Looking at South Padre right now, seeing the visibility improve just a little bit there. However, winds are still out of the west at around 3 miles an hour. If you're heading outside the valley for this weekend, I don't know why you would, because we have a lot of good activities going on here in the valley. But of course, across Texas, San Antonio in the 70s in Houston. They're still going to remain a bit chilly for the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so definitely expecting mild conditions here across the state. If you ask yourself if you're going to need a sweater for the next several days, not likely, because we are going to see those temperatures drop into the 60s there. So future clouds and radar showing those skies clearing out for some of us, especially in the upper valley around the 3 p.m. hour, getting up to about 82 degrees, 70 degrees for those overnight temperatures. So expect those humid conditions to return heading into this weekend, but temperatures really not going to warm up all that much. It's still going to be a little bit warm, but not as far as hot or too cold here across the area. Mostly calm across Texas. We do have a building high pressure system over the Gulf of Mexico. That is going to remain in the area for quite some time. So as long as this high pressure system's here, this is going to keep us warm for a prolonged period, as well as giving us some quiet weather here across the valley. So highs in the 80s, lows in the 60s. It's also going to prevent those cold fronts from reaching us for the next few days. So just expect that warm weather as well as breezy conditions, because when we have those highs centered over the Gulf of Mexico, we usually get the back into those winds here. So expect a breezy week heading into next week with winds gusting up to 20, 30 miles an hour, but a fairly quiet long-term forecast here across the valley. Weather models hinting around at a possible cold front for next weekend. That is not this weekend, but the following weekend, but a little bit too far out to see if those weather models are going to play out. But for the next 7 days, temperatures topping in the 80s, lows in the 60s, partly cloudy conditions for the start of next week, but we are expecting those conditions to remain a bit on the quiet side, and we're not really expecting too much of a cool down, at least for the next 7 days.